Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our RRG chart learning series level 4. In this video, we will cover the last three classes of recap of last three classes and how to use, or I'll probably break down how to use RRG chart to to make informed decision based on your investment time frame. So probably a short-term momentum. How can you look at that based on the RRG chart, and how can we look at the long-term trend reversal or the rotation of different scripts or the indices, right? So by end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to apply the RRG chart to fit your investment goals and whether you are monitoring daily or weekly or monthly or probably planning for a long haul based on the RRG chart. So we will cover all these topics in our video today. And as I promised, I don't want to keep too long video. We'll keep it very short and try to cover most of the things. So let's get on a strike. So I have already logged in. So when you log into RRG chart, sorry, when you log into Strike, you will land on the home page. And once you are on the home page, click on the RRG chart, which you will find on top left. And the moment you click on it, you will see this chart appearing over here, right? And in our previous classes, we have covered what are the components of our RRG chart, right? So we have four quadrants: leading, weakening, lagging, improving. So whatever you see on top, improving and leading, are something which we are interested in, right? And lagging and weakenings, um, we are less interested, but keeping a close eyes on the scripts or indices which are showing a good RS momentum. X-axis shows the RS relative strength, and Y-axis shows RS momentum. We have a benchmark at the center, but in order to set the benchmark, we have to go to the benchmark option and select Nifty 500. Why Nifty 500? We covered this because we want to cover more universe, right? So we want to cover more number of scripts and do the comparison against Nifty 500. And then we look for a weekly time frame for most of the scripts, and I think 5 weeks time frame is enough, because if you increase the time frame, the chart looks very messy. You will have a lot of tails are hovering here and there, right? So this is how it works. So let's go to, so this is the recap. And one other thing that I mentioned was, if you go to the home page, you have an option called watch list. So let's say if you want to import around, I think it allows 50 scripts to import. You can create a different watch list and you can import your stocks into Strike, and then you can go to the RRG chart and you can get all the scripts appearing under this section, and you can select all the scripts are coming over here. So let's look at those. All right, so this is how it works. You have an option to look at only the indices, not the corresponding stocks within those indices, but you also have an option to look at the different indices and the stocks, some of the stocks falling under those respective indices as well. So you have Nifty Bank. Under Nifty Bank, you can see how the situation is. And always remember, whenever you look at this, adjust the benchmark, adjust the time frame. That's very important. So every time when you look for adjustment of some of the settings, then you look for the current situation. And similarly, you have a different indices over here. And just one thing, folks, anything that we discuss in this call is not a buy and sell recommendation. This is just to understand how RRG works and how can it helps us in our investing journey. Um, and then you have different indices you can look at for IT as well, right? So change, you will not find all the scripts over here. So you can upload your stocks and look at this. So overall, you see almost 100% are either in improving or in leading, right? So this is how it shows over here. Um, let's go back to, so let me refresh. All right. That's fine. So this is how it works. And this was a quick recap. And if you want to watch the previous three videos, you can look for those in my Twitter handle account. Now today we will cover the topics like, okay, how RRG can help me if I'm looking for a short-term momentum or I'm a long-term investor. How can it be helpful for me besides the other tools that I use for fundamentals or technical analysis, and maybe evaluation that I look for. So how can it be helpful for me? So for the short-term momentum, you need to look for a quadrants for sure. And different people have a different perspective, right? So my risk appetite would be very high, and someone's risk appetite would be very less or medium, right? So look for the quadrants, and I'll cover that. And then the most important part is time frame, right? So um, the ideal time frame for the short term would be weekly, because daily has a lot of noise, but it doesn't mean that you cannot use daily time frame, but it has a lot of noise. So I just want to add that if anyone is looking for a daily time frame. So weekly is ideal and comparison with Nifty 500. So look for that. And 5 weeks is ideal because if you increase and you can increase the time frame for the weekly chart as well. You can instead of 5 weeks, you can put 10 weeks as well. So it's not restricted only for 5 weeks. Why I select 5 weeks on the RRA chart on the strike platform? Because if I increase length weekly time frame from 5 weeks to 10 weeks or 15 weeks, the chart would look messy, right? So you wouldn't be able to see that, but it doesn't stop you to do that. So you feel free to do that and play around with the tool. Um, so what do you mean by what is the meaning of momentum indicators? So momentum indicator is nothing but RS momentum over here. So some of the scripts are having a good RS momentum. Some of them are not having good RS momentum or having a good RS rating, but those are lying in weakening quadrants, right? So we discussed this before that anything there is a 90-degree move is very interesting, right? Both upwards and downwards. And any transition indicators, what does that mean? That means any script going into improving from lagging or from weakening to leading or very close to the benchmark, right? So how the transitioning happening for a particular tail of this script, right? So that is how you look for it for a short-term momentum. Again, uh, please combine with the fundamentals and other technical tool that you have. So yeah, it's always beneficial that we look for other information as well. Now, for the long term, RRT is just like a chart, right? So when you look for a technical charts, you change the time frame. So weekly, daily, um, and then monthly, right? So for long-term investor, I would suggest to look for a monthly time frame because their time horizon is, let's say, 3 to 5 years or 10 years. I think 3 to 5 years is something which um, I would consider as a long term, but yeah, I mean, it's up to you. So long story short, you need to look for a monthly time frame, not a weekly time frame, if your time horizon is long, right? And that's where the rotation of the tail will also change, right? You need to look for a sustained trend, and I'll show you that on the graph as well when we change the time frame. So these are the things that we will cover. Let's go back to the strike platform. So let's say, um, yeah, I can pick any of them. So let's look at this. All right. Now, we will cover the short term first, right? So first thing first, we will come over here, change the benchmark to Nifty 500. That's our benchmark. Benchmark is in the center. Remember this. Center is our benchmark, but benchmark a comparison that we need to change under the benchmark. So let's center. I'll fit it to the center so that I will have a clear view of equal distribution, right? So uh, this is the current situation on the daily time frame, right? And then, as I said, I look for, and when you look for a daily time frame, look for at least 15 days, right? So you will see the tail length at least, yeah. Look at this, right? So you can see this and take your call, right? And but I would prefer to look for weekly, right? And not for 15 weeks for sure, because it'll look messy, right? So, I mean, now we don't have much stocks over here, so it is still clean, but look for the momentum, right? So let's look for 5 weeks. So you can see here, right? Um, when anything is going down, what does that indicate? It indicates the momentum on the y-axis is reducing, right? So you are alert. You know what is happening on the RRG chart. The momentum is decreasing, right? It might have a good RS rating, but the momentum is decreasing. So that should alarm you. Then you can see the good RS momentum. When I say good RS momentum, good RS momentum in terms of downwards. So you can see a lot of good RS momentum going into weakening, and then probably it may get into lagging, but we need to keep a close eyes, right? So this is how you can track for any script or any indices that you would like to on a weekly chart. So short time frame, and then you look for the movement of tail based on the RS momentum and the quadrants that we have looked at it, right? So we cover this quadrant, which quadrant the script is into, what is the time frame that we have selected, whether the RS momentum is decreasing or increasing, and from which quadrant to the target quadrant it is going into it, right? So the source and the target quadrant, right? So this is how you look at on the weekly time frame. Let's say I'm a long-term investor and I don't want to focus on weekly chart because there could be a lot of noise for me as a as a long-term investor. So I would like to look at for monthly. So just simply go there, change it to monthly, and let's see. I think my laptop is a little slow today. Sorry about that. Yeah. So this is the time from now. For monthly, I would say let's keep it for 3 months, right? So you can see a lot of small tail length because the time frame is monthly, right? And you can see the arrow is headed towards weakening. I mean, it is still in leading, but the arrowhead has changed, right? And most of the things. So you have a double confirmation on the weekly chart as well as on the monthly chart. And so for long-term investor, you can see based on the monthly chart. It's just like a time frame on a technical chart, which is daily, monthly, and weekly, and similar thing that you can apply um, on the RRG chart. So it's nowhere different. So you can use for a short-term investing as well as for the long-term investing. So this is how the time frame works for the RRG. And always remember, select the benchmark, select the time frame, and then click on center and adjust and play around. You can play around um, with your RRG chart access on the strike platform. With that, I think we have covered. Again, my intention is to keep it short, so I'll keep it short. But if you have any questions, any clarification that you need, please leave your comments in the comment section. That will be helpful for me as well, to understand if I can add some value to your questions as well. So continue to add, uh, leave your comments, so that we get to know the how the learnings are happening. So keep learning and keep enhancing. Um, if anyone is interested, if you wish to subscribe for a Strike platform for the RRG chart, and they have other features as well. Again, I mean, it's up to you. So look at the sentiment indicators. They have diffusion indicators as well. A lot of other things, ratio charts. You have already available ratio charts. So if anyone is interested to subscribe for the RRG chart and other features on the Stripe platform, I'll provide the link on my post. You will get a 10% discount, and the cost is not that high for a year. So with that, I will close this, and thank you so much for watching this and learning. Have a great week ahead, and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.